Hello boys and girls, this is AnderZEL of course, and welcome to some Battlefield Hardline. First of all, I'm sorry there hasn't been many videos on my channel last week. I've been sick, real fucking sick, but I'm back in business, feeling great and feeling really optimistic or excited about doing videos again actually. I think it was nice with kind of a week's break, so to say. Also, don't worry, Counter-Strike fans, just because Hardline has released doesn't mean there's gonna be no Counter-Strike videos. I am still a huge fan of Counter-Strike and will always be that, so Counter-Strike videos will be coming on my channel shortly as soon as I get a nice 5-on-5 recorded or can make a montage or something similar. So let's get to it. The good, the bad, the ugly. My review of Battlefield Hardline Multiplayer, like I said, I didn't really touch the single player because it was simply too boring for me. So let's talk about that multiplayer instead. I got a list of bad and good things. Let's start off with the bad. One of the biggest issues I've seen on forums and online is that Nvidia users have been reporting a lot of graphical glitches, errors and similar, having a hard time to try to play the game. It's not massive, but definitely enough people have complained about it to be worth mentioning in my review. As you can see here, the dust here on Dust Bowl is flickering something fiercely for me. I have Nvidia cards as well. This might very well be fixed just in an update or two, but like I said, it needs to be mentioned since this is a review anyways. And SLI also have been an issue playing with one or two or more cards. I have two GTX 980s, so turning off SLI isn't really an issue for me. But if you need to have SLI on, do know that you might be getting micro stutters and similar, so make sure you Google it up and make sure you have the correct drivers and similar if you get the game, just to make sure your experience of the game is nice and 60 FPS and up and not a bunch of micro stutters and horrible crappy shit. Another thing that definitely needs to be mentioned is the bad tick rate. The tick rate is way too low. Come on, Visceral, it's 2015. I do realize Battlefield is way more advanced than both Counter-Strike and Call of Duty, but for God's sakes, the tick rate in Battlefield Hardline is pretty much the same as on Minecraft servers. I gotta be honest though, it works surprisingly well. I have only gotten shot behind corners twice in over 10 hours of multiplayer game time. I've died over 800 times. So getting shot behind corners 2 or 3 times per 1,000 times you die, that's definitely not an issue. But something that does happen a lot because of the low tick rate is that you end up killing the enemy and the enemy ends up killing you at the same time. You cannot trade kills. That's really the only things that have been bugging me with the game so far. I might find more things in the future. There have been some smaller things that have been bugging me, for example getting those goddamn camera coins, but I noticed that if you play on this map, Hollywood Hills or Hollywood Heights or whatever the fuck it's named, and you place all your cameras in the fountain, in the front yard, and not here in the back at the pool area, but in the front where you kind of have all the vans and shit parked, then you can easily get it unlocked. And also doing the sabotage I find a little bit annoying, but these are small things, not really worth mentioning to be honest. So let's talk about all of the stuff that I actually do really enjoy in Battlefield Hardline. So first on my list of good things are the guns. I was first a little bit disappointed. I was thinking these are way too few guns. This is not gonna be fun, but in reality I would say it's just the perfect amount of guns. Shotguns are very OP, feel very powerful at short range, completely useless medium and long range. Sidearms feel actually quite good. They're useful at short range and medium range just like they should. You can actually go around killing people just with your pistol if you're good with it, and that's exactly how it should be. Some weapons may be a little bit overpowered, like the M16A3, just like in Battlefield 3, but honestly, I kind of get a warm fuzzy feeling inside it because Battlefield 3 was such a fucking good game, and I was so disappointed with Battlefield 4 that it kind of feels like good old times using the M16A3, and you're gonna see me using it here in the majority of the end of the video. Had a really good match. This is actually the first time me trying it out as well here on the Hollywood map, and it's just a beast of a weapon, to be honest. It's just so easy to control. I don't know if they just copied it over from Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 3, but it feels just like back there, so I didn't have to get used to it or nothing. I just picked it up and kicked ass, basically. But yeah, all of the weapons feel very unique and specialized and really fun to play with. And I like it that the Enforcer, for example, has shotguns to begin with, but then you can unlock those assault rifles, heavy assault rifles with big bullets that do massive damage. And sure, most of those guns only have like 20 bullets in them, like the Skara and its counterpart for the criminals, but they're extremely powerful. You can mow down 2-3 enemies with just one magazine of 20 bullets, just simply because they're so powerful. The sidearms, like I said, they feel useful. They feel like you can kill people with them. You don't have to use a whole magazine to kill someone if you're good at aiming. As you saw there, I missed like a motherfucker. Yeah, just in general, guns feel good and they're fun to play with. The maps are extremely nice in my opinion. It's really only one map that I find boring, and that's the one with the collapsible train bridge or tram bridge or whatever the heck they call it. That map is like meh. The rest of the maps really fun, especially this Hollywood Heights where it's kind of darkish, and yeah, it's just generally enjoyable to play all of the maps. The game modes as well, I'm a huge fan of Large Conquest. Large Conquest is definitely my personal favorite. I do miss Rush a little bit, but having Hotwired, having Heist, having Bank Job, it's really fun to play most of them on most of the maps, and that's something that's really good. And it's honestly quite important that you can feel that, and that you can feel like all of the game modes and all of the maps are fun to play, because in a lot of Battlefield games, a map might only be fun on Large Conquest or only on Rush, and the rest of the game modes, it's pretty much shit and no fun at all to play. So really fun and enjoyable to play the maps and the game modes as well. When it comes to the unlocking system, having money to unlock things, or the majority of things, is actually really fun. I would say you unlock maybe 90% of gadgets, sights and weapons by just using your money. So if you absolutely want a specific sidearm or a specific SMD or assault rifle or sniper rifle, you just save up those 30 or 20 or $50,000 you need, and then you straight up buy it. You buy whatever you want. But then of course you have to play with the gun, get X amount of kills to unlock some sights and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of fun as well, that you can't just save up the money and buy exactly what you want straight up, but you actually have to play with the guns a little bit first. And it's also a little bit fun to do some of these extra things. Like I said, it wasn't super fun to do like the sabotage missions to unlock the sidearm for mechanic, for example, or doing the camera coins to unlock the sidearm for the professional, but the rest of them, they're quite fun. I mean, it's normal stuff like revive coins. You do revive people, shoot people with assault rifles or carbines. You do that as well, so it's not difficult to do. Like, you don't have to look up some very long guide to really do it, except maybe the cartel missions. But I'm gonna do videos on how to unlock the cartel guns very soon as well. I'm already quite close to unlocking the top tier sniper rifle, that, like, what is it, 800 knockout or whatever, or 900 knockout or something like that, weird it's named. Yeah, just enjoyable, to be honest. Like, except the camera coins, unlocking guns and unlocking sights and stuff is very fun. I like it. This is definitely a very good change. When it comes to how the minimap works, for example, and that kind of stuff, you see when enemies are above you and below you. You can't always tell if they're above you or below you if you're kind of in the middle of a building, but you do know if they're on the same level as you or not, and that's the important thing. That's something very good, that you actually know if they're above you or below you and not on the same level as you, so to say. I think that's extremely good. The pickup guns are quite interesting, or not interesting, but it's fun to pick up an LMG sometimes, and it's fun to pick up like an RPG or something similar. And I think it's quite good for the game in general that people can't run around with guns with 200 rounds in the magazine, or run around with a Stinger all the time, because really that would ruin the fun of playing around with a helicopter completely, because it is extremely hard to stay alive with the helicopters, especially if the enemy has a sniper with the Magnum ammunition. I mean, like, you can't really hide from a bullet, unless if you can literally hide so he can't see you, because you can get taken down in just a magazine of Magnum ammo in most snipers, if you're in a scout helicopter, for example. So, very good as well, I must say. Having the grappling hooks, I thought the grappling hooks were gonna be kind of like a stupid thing that wouldn't really add anything to the game. but they actually turned out to be quite fun. You can a lot of the time get up to positions where the enemy doesn't think you're going to be coming from by using the grappling hook, and therefore kind of ruining the camping moment, so to say, for some people camping on top of rooftops and similar. Movements and time to kill have been improved a lot compared to Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4, it felt like you were wearing a fat suit all the time. Sprinting had like this weird delay to it, so you couldn't get up to top speed until like 1 or 2 seconds of running. Just in general, here you can jump around the corner to survive an attack because you're reloading, or just simply outmaneuver the enemy and outshoot them much better. Time to kill has also been improved. Instead of taking a whole damn magazine to kill somebody, you can kill maybe 2-3 people with just 1 magazine, and then switching to your sidearm, killing 1 or 2 guys more. So if you're good enough, you can win a 5 versus 1 fight, for God's sakes, without shooting them in the back, actually. So overall, Battlefield Hardline, really fun multiplayer. I definitely recommend it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. As usual, thank you so very much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.